Welcome to the podcast of I.D.E.A.L family. Today we're going to put the focus on nutrition. And we have with us here TECLA Eng, who is dietitian and who will help us understand the importance of nutrition, especially during pregnancy. So TECLA, welcome. And so could you give us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, of course. After high school, when I finished high school, I went to a naturopathy school for 1 year in Brussels. Then, when I went back to Italy, I went to the university, and I went to. I continued like my nutrition studies. Um, what I noticed during my studies, it was the university was very interesting, very useful as well. But at the same time, to me, it looked a little bit limited. Uh, on only some, I don't know, count the calories, etc. For example, nutrition to me is much wider, much a bigger subject than just calories or diet. In my I don't know why, but in my vision is always was like I compared actually nutrition to philosophy or religions or beliefs. There are like many beliefs, many religions, and many diets. So, and there are many way to yeah to
To consider
food. Yeah, exactly, as well. Um, so
So how does nutrition play a role in health?
Oh, okay. So I would say, I would just say that our very important, a very important person living 5 centuries before Christ, uh, called Hippocrates. Uh, I hope actually everyone knows because it's a he was a like a uh, founder of the medicine, and he said, "May your food be your first medicine."
Right.
So, if we believe that our body is mainly built about, made of food and liquids as well, of course. We could say yes, we have to. The food again, the nutrition is absolutely basic in our health, and is very important. So, in my kind of opinion, it's not only mine. It's actually very wide. We would say what is most important for our body is something living. So living food is the most important thing for our health. So if you think living food, it would be actually mainly fruit and vegetables, right? And fresh food.
So that means no processed food.
Exactly. No processed, fresh food, mainly vegetables and fruits. That's the most important thing I could say. There are many things to say about nutrition, but I would say this is maybe the most important.
Right, thank you. So we hear a lot about genetically modified organisms, and so GMO, about fast food, about additives, and about colorants in the food. So do they have an effect on health?
Yes, definitely, yes. What it happened is a long time ago when the process, I mean, OGM and fertilizant and color food
Additives and
additives
yeah.
and everything,
Fast food.
they were used even before food, I mean, and agriculture first. And they were used to help farmers to work less, and etc. etc. But it didn't do studies. I mean, now they are some studies like to long-term effects on people. Not only, of course, it's easier if you put a herbicide, but a herbicide, what is the herbicide effect on bodies and a long term, of course. So now there are like lots of studies, they testifying, I would they saying that they there are some effects, yeah, on the body, and the effects are like there are many different effects, but definitely it's not as healthy as like fresh food or even organic, I would say. Because even for what you say for GMO food, for example, is genetic modified food. Uh, if you think about, what you eat is building your body. So you're something modified. Genetically modified is if you intake something, it means it will be part of your body, and there will be so. It is a choice, but at the same time is something you could change your system.
The
would
chemistry
say.
in the body.
The chemistry in the body, for example, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I learned also that glyphosate, that's an element that is used in fertilizer. When, with all the vegetables, for instance, that are sprayed against insects, that these elements of glyphosate are just getting to the intestines, and that they start like a tiny fabric there, like they're just producing themselves more glyphosate once they are in the body. So is that true?
I would say, in anti-science are like in our lab, our body lab, and there are like many good germs or good germs over there.
Bacteria.
Bacteria, thanks.
There's good bacteria.
Definitely you can, there's lots of like basic health is actually, we say your guts are really the base of your health. At the same time, something, if it's a lab, you can grow pretty much everything. So you have to be very careful what you put in your lab.
Absolutely. And I also learned that the intestines, in fact, are directly related to the brain, and that if the intestines are healthy, that the brain has way more possibilities to really think and process life like normally, way better than if it's all filled with toxins. So.
Absolutely, yes. This is a big, this is a concept from Chinese medicine, which is very old as well. And it looks like in Chinese medicine, this in the meridian.
The meridians, yes.
Intestine meridian is the same that brain, and they have also like a little bit the same shape. Anyways, they're definitely influenced. They are both influenced, like each other, influence each other.
They're linked.
So
in fact,
they're linked.
Absolutely. Yes.
So definitely, yes, I would say I confirm.
Wonderful.
What you're saying.
Okay. So now regarding nutrition for pregnant women, which inspires us a lot and interests a lot. I.D.E.A.L family. So a pregnant woman should she take care of her nutrition, and also a breastfeeding woman?
I would say, okay, the state of like pregnancy, breastfeeding, and even early childhood are definitely very sensitive period of life. So even in many medicine, you can say, but even natural products, you can read actually don't take if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. So it means it's a very sensitive. Uh, to given an age, you would say if you throw like a little rock on a lake, you have waves coming up, and the waves are like bigger and bigger. And to me, is actually like really similar to this state of life, like pregnancy and breastfeeding, because is everything you do, everything you think, everything you eat is actually amplified in your body. And if you think that you are building a human body, is definitely very important. Is like I would say basic, and it's important for the rest of the life of your little the little body you're building.
Yeah, that's gonna last for 80, 90 years maybe. So
Absolutely. So, what you eat, I mean, not only what you eat, but how you eat and everything is absolutely important to for the rest of the life or your baby, actually.
yeah, that's an interesting idea. Also, the way you're eating, like it's not just what you're eating, but also the atmosphere in which you're eating. There's a difference probably between eating quickly in the car or while you're running, or just sitting very in a state of yeah, peaceful state at the table. So yeah, how important is that?
Okay, to me it's very important, and I will say, I mean, why. Uh, Nowadays, I mean, it's more and more difficult to find a time to do one thing at a time. Many, again, philosophy or cultures, uh, they say you do one thing at a time, right? So, what I would say, food is actually, how do you say, around food you can say there are like many other uh, things to consider, like culture, social life, lots of other things. I mean, the ambience, and also how you prepare the food, how you eat, and everything. Definitely has an influence on how healthy you are after that.
So even the state of mind of how you prepare the food in the kitchen.
Absolutely, how you cut the food, how you prepare and how you cook, and how you eat is very important. And also, I mean, for certain people, it could be very difficult to say, okay, do one thing at a time. Oh, not possible. And what should I think or do if I only eat? Uh, it's kind of like you could, I mean, there is somebody I know in his lecture, he says, okay, you can think about the food in, for example, one of the way to think is uh, thanking. How do you say? Say thank you.
Yeah.
Say thank you,
Being grateful.
or giving thanks.
Giving thanks.
Giving thanks to the four elements of the food, like earth, water, air, and fire. So, and also saying giving thanks to the person preparing the food or growing the food, and all this would add something to the food, and it would add harmony and peace and everything positive, and so you will not only eat the food, but intake kind of harmony as well, peace, and everything you like and you need. Happiness, for example.
So that's another perspective than sitting at a table and being talking and discussing things and not agreeing with each other and making war, or just being really simply peacefully eating and concentrating. It's a complete other way of taking food in our body. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very I mean, pregnant women and breastfeeding women again, and children, they're sensitive on ambience as well. So what is very important is not only what you eat, it is very important, but also the ambience, so everything around. And one element I would say, very important element, there are like many things to say, but one element, a very important element for pregnant women, I would say, learn to listen to your body.
right.
And well, you really, I mean, if you really learn to listen to your body, you will know what to eat, when, and how.
Right.
That's I mean, is like is a learning, right? But is
Yeah, that
it's
sums
worth
it up.
it.
Yeah.
Worth it.
That sums it really wonderfully up. So thank you so much, Tekla, and yeah, let's just enjoy good food.
You're very
Thank
welcome.
you.